Hey everybody, it's Frederick Goen, and we have Bobby Beckett.
Hello.
And we have David Ray here with us today.
What's up?
We're going over Psalm 2.
All right, Psalm 2, and for the sake of time and video length, there's 12 verses in here, so I'm just going to start reading right away. Verse 1, Why do the nations conspire, and the people plot in vain? The kings of the earth rise up, and the rulers band together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their chains and throw off their shackles. The one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them. He rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his wrath, saying, I have installed my king of Zion, my holy mountain. I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will break them with a rod of iron. You will dash them to pieces like pottery. Therefore, you kings, be wise. Be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and celebrate his rule with trembling. Kiss his son, or he will be angry, and your way will lead to your destruction, for his wrath can flare up in a moment. Blessed are all who take refuge in him. So, where do we begin in this one? Well, Dave, why don't you start?
I'm going to take from verse 2, basically. It's where people often think they will be free and they can get away from God. Yet everybody serves somebody or something, whether it's a human king or organization or even their own selfish desires. And you're not free when we leave the Lord or turn and try to run from him. And the only sure route to freedom is by our wholeheartedly giving ourselves to the Lord. And doing so will set us free, and he will help us become and do the things that he created us to do.
Right. So I'm going to highlight a couple things here. Let us break their chains and throw off their shackles. So basically, this is basically saying people that have shackles and chains on are people that are running away from the Lord, and they're just not following the rules and the laws of God. And, and up here, the kings of the earth rise up. That could be leaders, anybody in power that people look up to. And, it's pretty crazy because down here in verse 4, I'll start this one. The one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them. He rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his wrath, saying, I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. So basically what this means to me is God will just laugh at them. He thinks these rulers think they could do it without God. And God says, I could take it away from you at any time. So what do you think?
And I do agree with that because I think it also means that personally, if you do what you want to do, he can take it away from you. So leaders, whether they be president or leader of your household, he can take it all away from you in an instant.
Agree. Okay, verse 7, I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will break them with a rod of iron. You will dash them to pieces like pottery. Verse 10, Therefore you kings be wise, be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and celebrate his rule with trembling. Kiss his son, or he will be angry, and your way will lead to your destruction, for his wrath can flare up in a moment. Blessed are all who take refuge in him.
I think that goes back with what Dave has always said and always, he sort of taught me is to fear the Lord, because Dave, he can take it away from you at any time.
Absolutely. I mean, the kiss of the son, what it's saying is it means to surrender fully and submit to him. Christ is not only God's chosen king, but he is also the rightful king to our hearts and our lives. And to be ready for Him, we must be willing to submit to His leadership and His leadings in every day of our lives.
Right. So, going back to Psalms 1, it kind of reminds me of the same kind of thing. If you're wicked, it leads to destruction.
Yeah.
So, same thing here. Therefore, you kings, be wise. And this could be leaders. This could be, anybody that people look up to, that think they got it all. Just remember, the Lord could take it all from them. That's why He's laughing up here, up in heaven.
I think that basically it's at first when you read it, it's very, very hard to understand, but once you really think about it, it's easy to just decipher and to realize that we have got to give our life to Jesus and fear Him, because He can take it away in an instant.
Well, in this particular chapter, he's talking about leaders and rulers and people that, have authority over people. And he's warning them, basically, follow the Lord, or He could just take it all away from you. That's just to sum it up. Submit to the Lord with all your heart. Whether you're a leader or a mom in the house or a dad over his kids, God could take all that power away from you in an instant if He wanted to.
Well, I appreciate Dave joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you, Dave.
And we will talk to you guys tomorrow with Psalm 3.
See you later.
God bless.
Bye-bye.